Social media about the 12 that died is not true. In Bingo, we have registered one student there, but the total number of cases there are 7. And here at the General Hospital in Limbe, there are 13 cases here, 4 dead.
The sad incident has prompted people to call on local authorities to install speed brakes along the road.
We are begging the government that we have lost a lot. They can help us to put the speed brakes and to create road for camion. It will be better for us.
So I think the only solution that they can do is to put some more speed brakes so that they limit or reduce the number of accidents.
The injured, some in critical condition, are receiving treatment at the Mutengene Baptist Hospital and the Limbe Regional Hospital respectively. FACO administration, headed by the Senior Divisional Officer for FACO, Mr. Shuaibu, descended to the scene to get first-hand information, calling on parents to be calm and prayerful as medics are doing their best to preserve the lives of the injured.
A sad incident, sir, indeed, which left the entire FACO division this morning in tears. Sure, we'll be coming back to how the family and also those who are in hospital are faring. That would be in our subsequent news editions, precisely that would be over the weekend. And our heartfelt condolences to all the families who lost their children in that ghastly road accident today in Ombe, precisely around Moliwe. And now we talk something else. Viewers, we take you from the FACO division, we take you down to the Meme division, where Barrister Balike Victorine Ebanja, the member of the CPDM Meme 1 subsection in the Southwest region, authoritatively says the Anglophone crisis was long buried, with peace haters pushed far away from the population who now sleep and go about their daily activities normally. Reason why there are no longer gunshots, killings, arson attacks, abuses, closed schools, and other excesses in localities in the northwest and southwest regions. She was speaking during the party's anniversary in Kumba, but on the field there is a contrary situation. Let's now have more with our reporter Innocent Aze.
Even when human rights organizations, civil society actors, and the local population of the northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon condemn and report ceaseless hostilities, military and separatist excesses in their localities, members of the Citizen Party of President Paul Biya, like Barrister Balike Victorine Ebanja, authoritatively contradict, terming the Anglophone crisis a past event.
We had crises here. We had situations that made us not to be here. But today we are standing here because the party has been strong. We have had actors who have made it possible for the people who were troubling us to go far. We don't really know where they are. I'm sure they are no longer in this country anymore. We are able to hold our celebrations here.
According to her, gunshots are no longer heard in localities in the northwest and southwest regions thanks to her party.
Do you hear boom, 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 boom again? No way. Is there no party working? This party that is working. We have peace. We can sleep and not hear boom, boom. We can sleep and rest like other people.
Anyone who says schools are not operational is a deceiver, she stressed.
The children are going to school. People are working.
As concerns reconstruction and development, Barrister Balike Victorine Ebanja backs the PPRD National Coordinator Ebune Confiance. Works are going on unperturbed.
They are building the Loom Road. You don't know? You don't know? They are building the road leading to Bundemba. You don't know? You are not aware? You are not aware?
Just like her, local and government authorities loyal to the ruling CPDM party had and continue to preach return of normalcy in the Anglophone regions. Statements which remain shocking, incomprehensible, and hard to assimilate by the local population who are primary victims. That of Barrister Victorine came during a CPDM rally recently in Kumba, Meme division of the southwest region.
We have peace. We can sleep and not hear boom, boom.
And now we talk something else from the Mehmet division of the Southwest. We take you now to the Northwest region of the country to avoid a destructive and deadly flood in Bamenda 3 municipality like that of Broya in the Southwest region, which happened recently. The municipal authority, Mayor Fongu Cletus Tanwe, at the end of the 2023 budgetary session, told our reporters in Bamenda that actions have been taken to flood on the Malfong Bridge this period of the rainy season in order to permit flexible circulation on the bridge linking the municipality and the city of Bamenda. Let's now listen to Mayor Fongu Cletus in the excerpt which comes up next.
The issue of floods, it is really a serious issue, particularly the Maifor Bridge and other areas that have been flooded in the days behind. We witnessed some floods at the Maifor River, and you can bear me witness that we have struggled at our own local level to do some canalization of that stream, which have greatly reduced the impact of the floods. But however, we are still calling on government and other development partners to help us with the construction of the Maifor Bridge, so that we'll raise it up in such a way that that area will be safe and void of floods. Ways it also connect with floods. We will collaborate with the City Council of Bamenda to see how we can ameliorate the situation of garbage within the municipality, because it's deplorable, and the frequency of collection of garbage is very slow, and that is causing some residents dumping garbage on the stream and so on. So I want to use this opportunity to call on the resident of Bamenda 3 to be responsible and to avoid dumping garbage where it's not supposed to. And the idea of separating their garbage at the level of their homes is very laudable. In the days ahead, we will embark on a sensitization campaign using the quarterhead, the municipal councillors and other stakeholders to actually let the public to understand that they have a primordial role to play as far as garbage disposal is concerned.
And now we talk economy. The Bank of Central African States is to inject 150 million franc CFA into the economy of the sub-region to solve the problem of scarcity of coins. We asked an economic reporter if that will solve the problem. The answer in the report which comes up next, compiled by Babula Jonathan.
The scarcity of franc CFA coins remains a major obstruction to business growth in Cameroon and other Central African countries. The problem has been attributed to fraudulent practices around coins, in particular their export to an Asian country for fabrication of jewelries. To solve the increasing scarcity of franc CFA coins, the Bank of Central African States has decided to inject 150 million franc CFA in coins into the economy of the sub-region. But the question now is it the solution?
Si on regarde qu'en 2021, on a eu l'injection de nouvelles pièces de monnaie.
The fact that in 2021 coins were put in circulation and in 2023 coins are still scarce indicates that the coins that will be produced will likely be absorbed by the same system.
Donc par convoi de conséquences, le même système va aussi absorber les pièces qui seront introduites en 2023.
Economic reporter Alois Unana thinks that a better solution will be to revise the raw material used in producing the coins. Those found guilty of fraudulent practices with the coins severely punished, and the use of mobile money or digital transaction systems encouraged. Concerning the use of franc CFA coins for fraudulent purposes, authorities of the Bank of Central African States had engaged discussions with the producer in view of incorporating signs and other measures to discourage such practices.
And in other news, a new report from the Audit Chamber of the Supreme Court of Cameroon says the special COVID-19 National Solidarity Response Plan in 2020 was marked by financial irregularities and also operational weaknesses. The report establishes a more than 20 billion gap between funds disbursed and expenditure throughout the year 2020. Let's now have more on that report by our staff man for me, Armstrong Sander.
The second report from the Audit Chamber of the Supreme Court of Cameroon focuses on 20 other ministries and their management of the Special National Solidarity Fund for the fight against the coronavirus and its economic and social repercussions. This report comes after the former, which focused only on the ministries of Public Health, the Ministry of Finance, and the Ministry of Scientific Research and Innovation. In the new report, the Audit Chamber outlined financial irregularities and operational weaknesses. Generally, the Audit Chamber established a missing 20.442 billion francs CFA from the 2020 COVID-19 emergency response budget. The report says a total of 141.395 billion francs CFA was reported spent in 2020 out of a total of 161.837 billion francs CFA disbursed for that purpose. In another line, the Audit Chamber accused the Ministries of Secondary Education, the Ministry of Youth and Civic Education, the Ministry of Agriculture and the Ministry of Decentralization and Local Development of failing to meet up assigned response objectives in the fight against COVID-19. In details, these ministries, according to the report, began their activities so late into the year, mainly around December 2020, falling short of the dispositions of Program 972 outlined by the government of Cameroon. It also says that the spendings of these ministries were low and could not meet up the desired objectives. Away from the above ministries, 16 other ministries did nothing at all with the funds received throughout the year 2020. As proof, the Audit Chamber says these ministries mobilized nothing, organized no activity, and created no ad hoc committees to respond to COVID-19 throughout 2020, but instead furnished reports of having used 2020 funds within the first 6 months of 2021. Still within late activities, the report says the money handed by Mindevel to FECOM for onward transmission to councils in Cameroon didn't reach the local councils within the expected time and could only be used in January 2021 against modalities. Local councils in Cameroon were therefore obliged to solely depend on their locally mobilized funds to fight COVID-19 throughout 2020. The report said the notion of emergency was purely and clearly defeated in the COVID-19 response plan in 2020. Among other things, the report decried the late launch of contracts delayed by bottlenecks and the fact that some contracts could not be completed at all 18 months after they were launched.
And now we move to news out of our national frontiers. In the US of A, Donald Trump has been indicted for paying huge sums of money to a porn star, making the first time a former president has faced criminal charges. According to Trump's lawyer, the ex-president is likely to surrender and appear for his trial on Tuesday, April 6. Let's now have more with Mala Glory.
Former President Donald Trump faces more than 30 counts related to business fraud in an indictment from a Manhattan grand jury. According to 2 sources familiar with the case, it marks the first time in the U.S. history that a current or former president will face criminal charges. Trump is expected to appear in court Tuesday, 4th April, for his trial. Trump released a defiant statement calling it political persecution and election interference at the highest level in history. The Manhattan District Attorney's Office has been investigating Trump in connection with his alleged role in a hush money payment scheme and a cover-up involving an adult film star, Stormy Daniels, during the 2016 presidential campaign. The former President Donald Trump was indicted by a grand jury in New York Thursday, but that does not mean his 2024 presidential campaign is over. Trump, who announced his candidacy in November, can still run for president. The U.S. Constitution requires only 3 things of candidates: a natural-born citizen, at least 35 years of age, and a resident of the U.S. for at least 14 years. The potential charges in Fulton County, Georgia, with regard to the 2020 election, meddling or at the federal level with regard to the January 6 re-insurrection could perhaps be constructed by some as a form of insurrection. But that is an open question that will have to work its way through the courts as the 2024 elections is fast approaching.
And now we take this information from our partners of MCN Cameroon. MCN Cameroon always very close to the local population, especially in times of